Anthony Gelia, age 22, found himself facing a grim reality as the Michigan Court of Appeals upheld his conviction and sentencing. Despite his appeals, Gelia must serve a life sentence without the possibility of parole. His conviction stems from a 2018 case, where he was found guilty of several charges, including first-degree felony murder, first-degree home invasion, and felony firearms possession. These charges relate to the tragic shooting death of Brittany Southwell, aged 26. With this decision, Gelia's future is sealed within prison walls for the remainder of his days. The tragic death of Brittany Southwell shook the community, as she was fatally shot while holding her infant child. Witnesses recounted the horrifying incident, revealing the devastating impact of the single gunshot wound that claimed her life. During the trial, jurors were visibly disturbed as they watched a Facebook Live recording recovered from the accused killer's cell phone. The video depicted the accused, Anthony Gelia, forcefully breaking into a young mother's home and unleashing gunfire, ultimately resulting in her tragic death. Gelia, overcome with emotion, wept into his hands and couldn't bear to watch the horrifying footage as it played in Circuit Judge John McBain's courtroom. Throughout the proceedings, Gelia maintained that he was intoxicated and had no intention of causing harm. However, police assert that on election night in 2016, Gelia forcefully entered a residence on Jefferson Street in Jackson and fired multiple shots inside, one of which fatally struck Brittany Southwell. Prosecutors argue that Anthony Gelia's actions on the night of the shooting paint a troubling picture. They claim that Gelia started the evening at Ridgewood Vistas, an apartment complex where his brother's ex-girlfriend, Ashley Boardman, lived. Testimony revealed that Gelia told the police that Boardman was fixated on his brother. Later, Gelia, along with his girlfriend and Boardman, visited Stark's Party Store in Michigan Center, where Gelia had Boardman purchase alcohol for him. Notably, Gelia was underage at the time, while Boardman was in her mid-20s. After visiting Stark's Party Store, Anthony Gelia, his girlfriend, and Ashley Boardman drove to Powers Party Store for more alcohol before stopping at Pacific Tan on Northwest Avenue. Boardman planned to tan while they waited. It's during this wait that Gelia initiates a Facebook live stream. In the video, a traffic stop can be seen going on behind him. Gelia says he smells bacon, adding that he can blast that cop in the back of his head. Gelia then asked, "Want to see something crazy?" as he pulls out a gun and laughs. "You can see the pig walking. A dead pig is walking," Gelia is heard saying in the video. As the Facebook Live video continues, Gelia's behavior becomes increasingly erratic. Despite his girlfriend's pleas, he continues to laugh and taunt viewers, daring them to confront him. He guzzles alcohol from a large bottle, belching loudly before grabbing another bottle to continue drinking. Suddenly, Ashley Boardman enters the scene, suggesting they go see Gelia's brother. In a disturbing turn of events, Gelia fires a single shot into the air while laughing. Continuing the Facebook live stream and shouting profanities, the video captures Anthony Gelia and the others driving to the home on Jefferson Street. Gelia exits the car, knocks on the door, and then forcefully kicks it open, yelling aggressively. Suddenly, a barrage of gunshots erupts, followed by screams, marking a chilling escalation of the situation. The video then shows Gelia leaving the house, asking, "Who's crazy? Who's crazy?" as he continues to laugh. Gelia can be seen yelling, "See me in the Aryan Brotherhood in prison," before the video ends. In the trial, the jury witnessed a portion of the Facebook Live recording where Anthony Gelia kicked in the door of the house and entered, followed by sounds of gunshots and screams. Gelia contends that the life sentence he received for felony murder is excessive and constitutes cruel and unusual punishment. He argues that certain evidence, like the Facebook Live recording and the victim's boyfriend's 911 call, shouldn't have been presented to the jury. Gelia's attorney maintained that a charge of involuntary manslaughter would have been more fitting in this case, rather than the felony murder charge he was convicted of. "You may not have known there was someone behind the door, but you knew people were in the home when you started shooting," Circuit Judge John McBain said during sentencing. You will have a lifetime to reflect on what it took to take Southwell's life. You will spend the rest of your life in prison as a murderer. Michelle Swartz, Brittany Southwell's aunt, expressed profound anguish, emphasizing the impact of Gelia's actions on Southwell's children, who now fear monsters. Swartz asserted that, regardless of intent, Gelia had no right to take Southwell away from her family. Prosecutor Jerry Jarzinka labeled Gelia's actions as clear felony murder, emphasizing the significance of jurors being able to witness the events leading up to and during the shooting through recorded evidence. During questioning, Anthony Gelia's lawyer emphasized his client's consistent assertion to police that he never intended to kill. Despite his menacing behavior, Gelia's lawyer argued that when he arrived at the house, he fired his gun aimlessly at the floor, suggesting a lack of intent to harm anyone specific. Additionally, despite being in close proximity to Southwell's fiancée and sister, Gelia did not harm them. The lawyer also highlighted that Gelia did not assault any officers when confronted by police. While Gelia's actions could have had fatal consequences, the defense emphasized that he refrained from escalating the situation further. Gelia's lawyer, Kirkpatrick, proposed that Boardman influenced Gelia's actions. He argued that it was only when Gelia reached the door that his companions attempted to intervene. Stanton, the police officer, confirmed this. Stanton also mentioned to the assistant prosecutor that in his 17 years of experience, he had never witnessed someone broadcasting a crime like Gelia did. He noted that as the video continued, Gelia appeared to become increasingly agitated. This suggests that external factors may have played a role in Gelia's behavior leading up to the tragic event. By the end of the trial, Kirkpatrick acknowledged that he would ultimately ask the jury to find his client guilty. However, he urged them to consider the appropriate charge, emphasizing that Gelia's actions that night were driven by human stupidity rather than premeditation. Jurors heard testimony from witnesses present in the home during the shooting, including Southwell's fiancé, Tyler McCravey. McCravey recounted being with Southwell and their infant child in a basement bedroom when Gelia entered and began shooting. Upstairs were Southwell's other children, her sister's boyfriend, Noah Gunter, and his father. Notably, Gunter is Gelia's brother. These testimonies provided crucial insight into the events leading up to the tragic incident. Brittany Southwell tragically died from a single gunshot wound while holding her infant child. An open murder charge gives the jury the option to choose between first-degree or second-degree murder convictions. If Anthony Gelia is found guilty of first-degree murder, he will receive a mandatory life sentence without parole. Second-degree murder carries a sentence of up to life in prison with the possibility of parole. In a matter of seconds, she became the victim of a senseless murder, said Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Katie Hawkins. Most people use social media for good things, but this defendant's perversion of social media ruins what it is about. I wish I could tell you that she did not suffer, but that was not the case, Hawkins said. She was shot in both her lungs and succumbed to asphyxiation. We can't tell you if she heard her child crying or her fiancé asking if she's okay, or the officer who told her she might not make it and needed to tell them if she knew who shot her. In conclusion, the case of Anthony Gelia is a tragic example of the devastating consequences of senseless violence. Brittany Southwell's life was cut short in a horrifying act that shocked the community. Gelia's actions, broadcast on social media, added another layer of distress to an already heart-wrenching situation. Despite arguments from his defense, the court found Gelia guilty of felony murder, condemning him to spend the rest of his days behind bars. Southwell's family and the community continue to mourn her loss, serving as a reminder of the lasting impact of such violence. Well, that's it for today. For now, make sure that you like our video. Please share your views in the comment section with us. Subscribe to the channel to get updated, and do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video. See you at the next one.